Hello everyone. So our today's topic is E. coli, which comes under the bacteria Enterobacteriaceae, and we are mainly going to learn about the toxins produced by E. coli. So this is a fun fact about E. coli that 16% of the E. coli bacteria are found on our phone screens as well as our bathroom doorknob. So this actually shows how clean our phone screens are. So this is an introduction about the bacteria. It is an aerobic and facultative anaerobic bacteria, gram-negative enteric bacilli, and it is mostly motile by Peritrichus flagella. Some species are commensals, that means they are naturally present, and some are pathogenic for humans. So let us go into the toxins produced by them. They generally produce three types of toxins: enterotoxins, hemolysin, and verocytotoxin. So enterotoxins are again divided into two types: heat labile toxin and heat stable toxins. Heat labile toxins are again sometimes of two types: LT1 and LT2. So this is a flow chart about the toxins produced by these bacteria of the different types. And this is how the bacteria comes into our system. They are generally present as commensals in the intestines of the cow, and they are asymptomatic over there. And when we eat undercooked dairy products, it enters our intestines, and that's how they produce toxins and other things. So let us look at the toxins one by one. Enterotoxins, as I told you, they're divided into two types: heat labile toxin and heat stable toxins. Enterotoxinogen strains of E. coli, ETEC, produce one or both the types of the toxin. So first we learn about heat labile toxin. They resemble enterotoxin produced by V. cholerae. They composed of one enzymatically active polypeptide A. A stands for active subunit, and five identical B subunits. B stands for binding. So the B subunit's work is mainly to bind to the GM1 ganglioside receptor at the brush border of the epithelial cells of the small intestine, and thus it facilitates the entry of subunit A. So subunit A is again activated to A1 and A2. So A1 again activates adenyl cyclase in the enterocyte, and activation of it converts ATP to CAMP. And as there is marked increase of CAMP, this results in intense and prolonged hypersecretion of H2O and chlorides, and it inhibits reabsorption of Na, thus distending intestinal lumen with fluid and hypermotility, leading to profuse watery diarrhea. So diarrhea is the most important symptom of this bacteria. This is a pictorial representation of how the LT and ST enters our intestines and produce the toxins, and how they get attached to it, and etc. Heat stable toxin. Contrast to LT, it's low molecular weight polypeptide and it's poorly immunogenic. And they are again of two types, ST1 and ST2. ST1 is also called STA, and it stimulates fluid secretion in the gut through CGMP. And ST2 also is known as STB, but the mode of action is not really known until now. ST acts more rapidly than LT, and it's poorly immunogenic. So these two are a few differences between LT and ST. Hemolysin. Some strains of E. coli produce it, which can lyse erythrocytes of some species. Larger proportion of E. coli recovered from extraintestinal lesions of man are hemolytic than those isolated from feces. So the main area of the bacteria is the intestines of humans. Verocytotoxin. They are also known as Shiga-like toxins. As they result, the toxins produced by Shiga dysentery type 1, and there are of two types, VT1 and VT2. VT1 are neutralized by antiserum to Shiga toxin, and VT2 resists neutralization by antiserum to Shiga toxin. So this is the only difference between VT1 and VT2, and it is useful in treating it. Cytotoxic to Vero and HeLa cells, and they are also composed of A and B subunits, which are phage encoded. So sometimes there's also another type of verocytotoxin known as VT2V, which are not cytotoxic to HeLa cells and they are not phage encoded. So this is the only difference between VT2V and the other VT types. So this is a picture which shows the different types of diarrheas produced by the different types of bacteria. And as you can see, most of these are different types of diarrheas like traveler's diarrhea, infantile diarrhea, dysentery, which produces blood and mucus, bloody diarrhea, pediatric diarrheal disease. And these are the different types of E. coli which produce it. This is again a picture which shows the organism, which type of E. coli and where is the site of action. And as you can see, most of them are, all of them are actually intestines, small intestines and large intestines. And these are the diseases, as I just told you, most of them are diarrheas. And these are the pathogenesis of them. It is not really that important though. So this is a picture which shows the difference between the susceptible host E. coli and the resistant E. coli. This is how they produce resistance towards the other infections, and this just shows how there's amplification of phage and toxins in the intestine. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful.